Let's start very slowly. I'm kind of thinking of what it is that you're thinking. And you might be thinking about whatever you're thinking about, and you might be thinking about what it is that I'm thinking about. Can we just kind of stop that? It's like waiting for things to stop. And you've probably got a lot of stuff to do, so the chances that you're going to wait this long, why? I suppose it's got to be trust. Yeah, the trust that I'm not going to be wasting your time, or it's something to do with the title. It's kind of like a hook. I was just reading my book, right, in the bath. I'm reading it backwards. And after reading it yesterday, I had lots of nice ideas. Kind of new thoughts and remembering thoughts and kind of really energizing. And I had another bath today because my skin's so bad, I'm just having baths every day, it seems. And again, looking at this book and reading it from the back, and I don't know what page it got to, and it became very clear to me the rather peculiar catch-22 that we are all in. And it's like a catch-22 that it has a kind of a Mobius quality to it. And it's to do with awareness that you have, and I have, kind of like pin-sized awareness of just kind of like normal human being, and how that correlates to the big picture, actually what's going on external to us as a whole social body. And in this particular moment in time in history, we actually occupy a very interesting time, which I'm sure you're aware of. But there's a specific catch-22. And I was looking at these this idea about standards. And in the book, I've got this kind of it was just kind of like a throwaway idea, I think, at the time. Well, not throwaway, but you know. And it was like, I thought that there's like various possible ways that we can move forward. And different people have different ways of doing it. And there'll be some ways that are kind of like the confluence, okay, because they're actually doing very similar things, like the Alliance for New Humanity and, you know, some other organizations doing whatever they're doing. And it's quite similar. And then you've got the Buddhists doing whatever it is that they're doing. And then you've got the kind of political activist-y people, economic, trying to do redesign systems, which is kind of what TAP and various people are trying to do. And as they're kind of like being created and people are investing in, like Facebook develops and suddenly everybody's using it, it's kind of like that, but maybe an economic, pseudo-economic model. Okay, and that would be like a standard. Okay, by 2000, okay, right. So there's all this happening, all right? But there's probably going to be some kind of confluence, you know, certain designs will emerge that people are kind of investing in. To the point that by 2012, 13, there are these quite substantial alternatives that have manifested in society that people are kind of committed to, that they believe will actually result in a fairly reasonable chance of actually achieving a sustainable global situation. Healthy global, okay, world peace, okay. A sustainable global economic political, perhaps religious, spiritual, environmental, sustainable thing. Okay, and I call these like standards, okay, and it was kind of like utopia, and that is to do with kind of alternative, kind of like guru-esque kind of like get together. Then you've got kind of like, what was it called, the parallax, and I think the standard, and that's to do with kind of economic, political kind of alternative. And then you've got the Dharma standard, which is quite a deep kind of spiritual one, really. That's all it is. You know, you call it anything you want, but there'll be these kind of like manifest forms by 2012, hopefully, right? Clear, nice and clear. And the idea is by 2012, we kind of have to agree on which one we're going to do. And everybody in each of these standards, although they're committed to theirs, they realize actually they're not going to be able to achieve it if these other people are doing their things. So we kind of collectively have to agree, whatever standards we're in, kind of committed to, whatever it is that we're doing, we kind of have to agree on one of them. And the whole idea about trying to call them standards and is for people to be aware that there are completely different ways of doing this. And we do actually have to work together to be able to achieve it. So it's the kind of last bit of confluence, and that's going to take a few years to really emerge. So that's why, you know, from 2012, 13 to 2020. That's what I was thinking, all right? Well, silly ideas, all right? I've got my little pinhead. So, but what's the specific catch-22? And the specific catch-22 that I thought of, which I thought was really quite funny in a way, is how do we know now? Or even 2012, how do we know what is the best thing for us as like a whole group of us? I mean, it's the classic kind of problem that all kind of small groups have had, like tribes and stuff specifically. They have to think, you know, what is the best thing for us? Should we go down south or shall we go east? Or, you know, what direction and when are we going to move in order for this kind of tribe to continue? And it's a tricky thing. Because you've got youth saying, oh, let's do this, let's do that. And then you've got the old people, oh, well, let's just do what we did last year. And it's something to do with responding to what is now and what looks as if what the conditions might be. I'm not defining it clearly. 8 minutes in. There's a specific catch-22. It's to do with, I really feel, I think it's to do with who we trust right now. Who are we trusting right now? Because there are some people who think they know what they're talking about the future. Okay, they think they know what they're talking about, what the current situation is. And they're doing it based on knowledge, and they're doing it based on reason. They may even be doing it in faith. I can't define it. I don't know if you can. The specific catch-22 is to do with trusting each other. And who? And it's like that, we don't actually have a second go at this. Whereas most things, you can try things out, and then kind of if you fail, you can try again, you can try different things out, and then you can, but with this specific kind of condition that we're kind of in globally and economically and history, it's kind of now, and we're only going to have one shot at it. So we kind of have to get it right. But that kind of like desire to get it right, you know, we have to do this, we have to do that, well, I don't think that's right. So as a catch-22, you think, all right, we have to do this, we have to do this. But if we think that, then we'll get it wrong. Yeah. So you have to find as well. What can you do?